Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Marzena Kołaczyk and I'm Knitwear Designer, and today is the second episode of my reaction, my commentary about knitwear we can find in stores made by different brands. I've been digging the internet looking for the nice knitwear, and to be honest, there is not so many like popular brands I can find to have something interesting to say about the knitwear. Mostly there are basic sweaters, sometimes very boring, like not even like a minimalistic and modern, but they are just absolutely the same as it was 30 years ago. And I think at some point that's good because, this is like something universal, but at the same time, I think it's just extremely boring. I think fashion is also art and knitting is art. And why do not keep it that way? The life would be much more interesting if we do not look exactly the same, like copy of each other. So let's see if I can find anything like that in those few brands I want to discuss today. So the first one is, I believe, Ba&sh. Let's say it's Ba&sh. If I'm incorrect, just please let me know in the comment. I went through their website to see if there is anything I can discuss. So I'm kind of familiar with the stock right now. And this sweater took my attention, not because it's detailed or, unusual, but there is a small detail, and I think you all can see right now, which makes this very, very simple and basic sweater finally unique, something which can stand out. Of course, I'm telling about these lovely cuffs. This is such a brilliant idea. Let's take a closer look. Look at that. It's like one cuff on another. We have a classic rib, and on the top of the regular cuff is the shorter one, which is a frill made from rib, and it's much shorter, which gives this like a flower-like shape. It's super cute. Beautiful sweater. Most of them are quite basic with some creative, some interesting detail. And I think it's good. It's good. And also one sweater I do not like. I just want to show you something which make me always say that the colorful yarns are not for lace. You can argue with that. Feel free to do this in the comment. I'm always open for discussion, but in my opinion, lace just disappears when we use like speckled yarns, melange yarn, or like multicolored yarns. And what is the point of making lace if you want to hide it? Look at that, it's such a huge mess on the sweater. And I'm pretty sure it would look gorgeous when if it's like a solid color, just cream. I cannot even say what is the lace, so what's the point? What's the point of making lace if you don't want to highlight this? I don't know, so I think this is a bad decision. Nice yarn, but it's not for this project. Okay, another project from the same brand. It's a top, short sleeve vest. I would say it's top. Why it's vest, I don't know. There's lots of lace here and puffy sleeves, charming scalloped edge on the top and on the bottom. Let's take a closer look. That's a funny thing. I love puffy sleeves, but not in a knitwear. I have a few linen dresses and few linen tops with these big, very puffy sleeves like princess. In knitwear, it looks a bit old-fashioned to me, but it's just my preference, so no worries. So it's kind of consistent pattern here. We have lace and textural stitches here, and all of them I think fit perfectly together. They have the same coherent look. I mentioned in the previous video that coherent look, it's very important, because if you take 5 patterns and all of them are from different style, different type of lace or different type of cables, you are not creating an art, you are creating a mess. And if you want to do this, you just need to be very careful. You just need to know exactly what you want to achieve. If you just take random stitches, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be fine, it's not gonna be like a disaster, but it's not gonna be very eye-catching. But in this design, everything works very nice together. If I would change the sleeves, make them like a classic short sleeves without this puffiness. And this is actually pretty easy. I can even dare to analyze it, how to make it. I would start from the top. There is only one reason, because I think it's much better. I would start from front. I will shape this beautiful neckline by increasing the stitches evenly here. No shaping on the shoulder, I think. Go straight down, and we can make this placket at the same time together with the fronts, or you can also just pick up the stitches later and finish it without, thinking about 2 things at the same time, like fronts lace and the placket and buttonholes. So yeah, when you go to the armpit area, you just need to shape it, extend it actually, like increase the stitches again to make sure you will reach the side of your body. How much is, it depends on you. I think this is just a slight ease here because she still can move freely, but it's not oversized. And then go straight down. I don't think there is any shaping here. You can even decide about the lace, like once you're working on the project, you don't need to plan everything. In such designs, you can just pick 20 different, very similar, remember, it must be coherent, stitch patterns, and just, decide on which one you are going to work next, depending on how the design looks at this very stage. If you want to go with puffiness, like here, you just need to pick up much more stitches here. The best way is to just determine the placement of this gathering. Put some locking stitches, no, put some locking markers in this place. Pick up much more stitches than you will usually do. I think the best way is to first experiment on the swatch, pick up the stitches and see how particular number of stitches behave. Don't be very afraid of picking too much, because in here on the cuff, is it still a cuff if it's in the middle of arm? Doesn't matter. So you can just decrease the stitches like quite drastically. I would say maybe not in half, but yeah, quite a bit, and just do the cuff. And I'm pretty sure you will have to do also the shoulder rows here, as always, for set-in sleeves. So if you don't know how to do this, I'm pretty sure if you Google it, you can find some tutorials how to calculate the shoulder rows on a set-in sleeves. All right, the collar, it's made after the placket. It's of course cast on around the opening, and there is I think this is the same on the bottom, but I just need to confirm that, so give me a second. I'm not sure if there is a better picture. I wish I can tell you. See this one. I think this is very basic lace with rib stitches. Very difficult to tell. If you have any stitch books, I'm pretty sure there are some edge stitches, edge patterns there, so you can just pick up whatever you like and to get this scalloped edge. Remember that if you do the scalloped edge and you work with lace, blocking is everything. So if you don't see this beautiful scalloped edge right after closing your stitches, like casting off your stitches, it means that you just need to block it and give it a shape. This is not a magic, this is how the stitches work and what they need from you. So don't be afraid of blocking and giving a shape to your stitches. Okay, we discussed this quite in detail. Okay, the last project from this brand is this little cardigan and underwear. I like it. It's cute, it's modern, it's full of lace. It wouldn't be my first choice, the lace I mean. Oh yeah, now I can see more what it's all about. It's about like squares and rectangulars, divided by like a very plain stitch. So yeah, Ba&sh maybe doesn't have many knitwear I would like to discuss with you, but some of them are quite good. Here's another brand I would like to show you today. This is a brand based in the US. I think I should pronounce this DÓEN. Okay, let's go straight to the project. I have something to tell you about this project. This is corset cardigan. There is another one which is very similar, and I will discuss this a bit later. First, I love this design. It's beautiful, it's sweet, it's cute, it's romantic and feminine. Perfect. Everything really fits. Maybe the buttons, but it works nice with the skirt. Buttons can be replaced, no worries. This design reminds me my Priscilla and Lyrebird cardigan, and not because of the general look, but the approach to the topic. I choose 2 or 3 stitch patterns. The main one is in the middle of the fronts and also the back, and the front and the side is decorated by different stitch pattern, which has this coherent look like in a corset cardigan like this. You can see this is beautiful reference between those 2 patterns. Here is like a smaller flower, this is the bigger flower, and this between. You can see that someone really did their job. But what I really like about such design, that everything looks so finished. You can see there is no filler which can be easily extended for bigger sizes. There is nothing which is like an unimportant stitch just to make sure we get the
correct number of stitches. It would be so easy to design the sweater which has only this part, you know, like the front stitch, this front column and this bigger but with bubbles, and then just here that do the stockinette stitch. Why it would be easier? Because then when you want to create another size, bigger size or smaller size, you will just increase only this stockinette stitch. For me, it's a shortcut. If you want to create extremely romantic pattern, don't take shortcuts. I think everyone who buys the pattern deserves to have this amount of lace without having like the extra stitches on the side, like, you know, 20 centimeters of stockinette stitch, because it's not the same design anymore. And my approach is to not do the same front and you know, very plain sides. To achieve that, I just add another panels. You know, sometimes it means that there is a bigger difference between sizes, like in the panel placement, but the final look is exactly the same. The vibe is the same, so the mood is the same. So the person who makes size 1 has exactly the same feeling about the design as the person who makes size 10. Both of them can have this like extremely intricate pattern. If I want to make a sweater full of lace, it must be full of lace for everyone, not only for extra small or small size. That it goes without saying, right? So it's harder, much harder. I'm not gonna lie. I just need to sketch every single size. It takes me, I would say, 3 times more to design than write the pattern and calculate everything. But I think it's worth it. It's, you know, we all deserve the beautiful, finished and polished sweaters. So I told you that I love this sweater. It's a lightweight sweater. And there is another one in the same store, which I also love. And they are very similar, but there are some differences. So the vibe is very similar, you know, but this one has these different panels of stitch patterns, and this one is also the big one, the big stitch pattern, and this small lace column between. And also the placket is finished differently. Instead of scalloped edge, there is a frill. I think both options are beautiful. So if I had to decide which one of those I would wear, I think it would be cloudy cardigan, so the right one. Because of it's a bit heavier, I prefer when my lace on the cardigans, not on the summer knits, because it's a different story. But for sweaters, I prefer this slightly more chubby, fluffy feeling, and the cloudy, I think, is a bit heavier. So there were 2 brands I want to highlight today and show you some knitwear. But I also have something extra. It's gonna be more like a rant or joke, so please don't make me very serious. I have some thoughts about 2 different brands. So the first is Ba&sh. But what I wanted to tell you about this brand, which makes me laugh, the huge brand name all over the sweater. Just imagine me doing sweater with lace, and the lace is shaped in my name, like Marzena, 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 everywhere. You would never wear it, come on. Sorry, I just don't understand why you want to put a huge brand name on your chest, on your back. Next one. So next one, it's gonna be more like a rant than joke. I think this knitwear is good. It looks nice, it looks innovative, looks interesting. For instance, those sweaters or this one, it's really nice. But when you go to the project, like the product page, what is it? I'm sorry, but you just simply cannot take picture of the knitwear using flash. It doesn't matter if it's the trend right now to make pictures like that, like by old camera in 19s, you know, when your uncle wants to take a picture during your birthday. It's not about my personal preferences, but you cannot even see the single stitch on here. How you can say how good or bad is made if you cannot see a single stitch? And it's not like a one-time situation. It's everywhere like that. See, everything is super flat. I cannot even say what is this stitch. I don't want to be too harsh to them. There's only one project I want to use as an example of what I think we shouldn't do, and this is this. Very detailed, very intricate lace. Can you even see the lace here? It doesn't matter if it's with flash or no. I just don't see anything. It's just, everything is all over the place. And this project is in particular very bad. I'm sorry. Look at this, look at that. I also have some projects which are not like a full length, and there are many others which are like below or above the wrist. But in this case, it looks like she is wearing the sweater which was washed in the washing machine on 60 degrees. Imagine taking 5 colors of modeling clay and you think it's gonna be such a brilliant idea. You will get a rainbow-like modeling clay, but in fact, you just end with this absolutely colorless, kind of grim shade, which is exactly what is this color on this sweater. I don't know. This is very hard to me to publish this kind of rant, because I prefer just to say nice thing. If I have something unkind to say, I just don't say that. I don't think there is a point. But we are just discussing the design, so I think I can have my own opinion, and this opinion is actually a bit harsh. So sorry. Please don't hate me for this rant. I just had to tell you that. Yeah, I think I should say something positive at the end. So the weather is nice and I like you guys. So yeah, that's quite positive. Thank you for watching. It keeps me so motivated. I have so many ideas for future videos, totally different than this one or the previous one. So I hope you will all like this. Let me know if you have any ideas. I will be very happy to hear what would you like to see. And please subscribe or I will react to your knitwear. Bye!